Welcome to Marvel Maniac and MCU After Show. This is your host, Eric Cicada, aka Mr. Honest. Excited to be back here with you today for a short little recap on the Thunderbolts. Yes, the Thunderbolts week has arrived, and I am recording this a bit ahead of where you're sitting, possibly listening to this at the second it comes out, 5 a.m. my time. It's the thing I'm focused most on is adding to the algorithm and staying on time so we can get featured. That downfall kind of comes with I really wanted to post this episode post-recording. However, to secure the future of Marvel Maniac, we're gonna stick with the release times just for this one. And hey, you still got some time. Maybe you're not going to see it right away like I am. I'm seeing it Thursday. I'm so excited for the Thunderbolts. It's already no spoilers this episode, no comic spoilers, no heavy predictions, really. Just a good old-fashioned MCU recap, a quick one for today, so you're feeling ready enough to go into this movie and knowing you know all the characters, at least a few. So I want to go off the bat and say there's Bob, you know him from the trailer. There's a lot of speculation / knowledge about what character he becomes. They're not showing that in the advertisements or anything about that in the advertisements. So I consider that a surprise. I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to ask no questions. We're going to talk about the other 6 that are in the movie, part of this team, it seems. Is it a team? They're kind of against each other in the trailer. I'm avoiding watching trailers too. Like, I don't like this next trailer. Like, the trailers that come out now reveal too much. I'm not watching them. But yeah, so just a nice refresher. And I want to say, let's meet this team. And I didn't realize until very recently that like half the team is from the movie Black Widow, or at least started their MCU journeys in Black Widow. Black Widow, the first release of Phase 4 and of the Multiverse Saga in terms of movies. We meet Yelena Belova, who I didn't know her name in the comics was White Widow. I had the Fortnite skin of Black Widow from the snow mission she goes on in that movie, and I named that slot White Widow, and now that's Yelena's name, and I think it's a very good name. She's cool. Yelena, her first appearance, like I said, was in Black Widow. She is Natasha Romanoff's sister. Now, if we're going to be exact, not by blood, they had to undergo immense training at the Red Room. It was like a torture chamber for women, and the whole plot of Black Widow, they go through this, and Yelena is starting off as an actual brainwashed Black Widow operative, and she gets healed and becomes kind of like a savior and kind of like a leader of the other Black Widows, that she has the cure to this brainwash. So they take down the Red Room, and her and Natasha, I'd say her whole family did a pretty great job. Unconventional family becomes real family. Yelena is the younger one, and the time she spent with this family in Black Widow when she was a kid, they were just all together, being like Russian spies, instead of being like, they weren't real family, but they became real family. And it all came together that they were truly a family at heart by the end of Black Widow, which is fun. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Now, the post-credit scene of Black Widow shows a character we will talk about, Valentina Val. I thought she was trying to recruit Natasha, but apparently off screen there was a quick agreement for her to start working for Val, and she shows up at the gravesite of Black Widow, and she's kind of annoyed, obviously, about being confronted when she's grieving, but Val shows and blackmails Hawkeye, showing her prerogative to get rid of Avengers, or just her way of dealing with things is kind of morally wrong, and she's pitting people against each other, and it seems like from the trailers, right, I think that's what she's doing in this movie too. So I'm excited to see what happens with her. Is her story, Val, going to culminate? We're talking about Yelena still, but is Val's story going to culminate and like finish, or is Val going to be like, an everlasting presence going forward in the MCU. I've been avoiding plenty of trailers to not know. I'm so excited. I don't think they're reviewing too much in the trailers, and that says enough. That says that they, even amidst the age of Marvel flops, they have a decent confidence in this movie and the cast. I personally think this is the biggest, almost Avenger level thing we've had this whole phase. I think it is kind of a beautiful culmination of the Disney Plus MCU just having, like John Walker in there, and just a little more like deep characters that aren't, getting their own movies, like Bucky and White Widow, Yelena, and Alexei, and we're going to talk about all of them. It's just, it's cool to see them have a spotlight, and I'm excited to see how they shine under it. Yeah, so while she was trying to kill Clint Barton and Hawkeye, believing that he was the reason Natasha died. Not the reason. I don't know how that story got so twisted by Val, but she stands by it. Nobody was even there but those two to talk and tell the true story of what happened. So I don't know how that got spun around. It's not really revealed either. But kind of, she goes through a huge emotional arc in like the second half of Hawkeye. It's going from grief to revenge, because we do get to see her reverse from the blip, which is another really cool imagery. We never got to see like someone come back that way, like the walls changing around her and everything changing around her in 1 second. That's how people perceived it. So she goes from grief to revenge to forgiveness, and that's one of the best scenes of Hawkeye is when they actually talk it out, and there is forgiveness and there is understanding, and that is a huge moment for Yelena. Current vibe, what she's doing right now, up to the Thunderbolts. I'm assuming she's grieving, healing, looking for a purpose, and I like to say she has some pretty unfinished business to settle. She's got some superheroing to do. I can't wait for the moment, the callback, just anything to see her do that superhero pose and see her fully become the poser. That joke is paid off in Black Widow, but it can continue to be paying off when she's like the main Black Widow, White Widow. Okay, next we go to Red Guardian. Again, if his first appearance was Black Widow 2021, believe it or not, these are all nostalgic characters already because it's been 4 years. He was the Soviet Union's attempt at Captain America. He claims feats. He even talks about fighting Captain America in the 80s. I gotta see a post-credit scene of him fighting who he thought was Captain America in the 80s. Or I want to somehow see him be right about that. I don't know. But he's kind of like got this washed up vibes. He's the comedic relief. And when he has powerful moments like character moments, they're even more powerful because you don't take them super seriously until like the end of that movie. And deep down, yes, Yelena and Natasha are like his real daughters. So Alexei right now is still out of his prime, I'm assuming, but still, super soldier, still very powerful. I think it'd be good for him to have a second chance to matter, to maybe save something or be a part of a team, maybe become an actual hero again. He's got a lot of purpose and drive to do all that, and I'm excited to see his character evolve and most likely be the main comedic relief of this movie. And we have 3 Captain America spinoffs, so it's funny. I want to see all 3 shields. I want to see some action. Taskmaster, the final Black Widow 2021 cast member. She is thought to be, in the beginning, a mindless assassin, but she is revealed to be Dreykov's daughter, going all the way back to the first Avengers. This is something that Loki mocked and taunted Natasha with. What about Dreykov's daughter? Where did Loki get this information? I'm assuming the scepter somehow, because it's the Mind Stone in there. But there's no telling exactly. He knows, though. And we get to find out what happened to Dreykov's daughter. Natasha, it was her last order to be converted to S.H.I.E.L.D. and brought to America. And she thought she was leading Dreykov's daughter. She thought Dreykov's daughter was leading her to her father, when in reality, the only person in there was her. She got so messed up at the end of the movie. Twist. If you haven't seen it, pause or whatever, skip ahead. Honestly, you got to know this, though. She ends up being Taskmaster, the big threat. Now, a lot of people and fans and whatnot were not so happy about Taskmaster being a girl. I gotta say, it didn't bother me. But I hope that anger doesn't transfer over to this movie. I mean, I like when the MCU does their own takes, what they feel is best. I don't think they're MCUing or woke. I think they're trying to create a diverse cast of different characters in this specific universe. But like many of these characters, we don't really get much of a follow-up from her being healed. She is free from the mind control that left her with no clear path on like where she's going to go, what she's going to do. She's been Taskmaster what seems like probably all her life. Like, where's she been? I'm hoping we get a little bit of filling in there, because I know it wasn't as long ago, but it was during the time of Civil War. So, I mean, it's further back than, let's say, Endgame. Like, I forget sometimes the Black Widow is, like, placed a little bit further back in the timeline from where we are. And that's kind of, I liked what they did with it, though, because I didn't feel like Black Widow was a boring movie. I thought it was, it could have been considered filler, but I think it was a really great example of Natasha Romanoff's inner self getting inside her head just a little bit more, giving her own well-deserved movie, and introducing characters that will play a bigger part in the MCU going forward. I thought the movie did an awesome job. And what's Taskmaster up to these days? A weapon without a mission. And it's most likely she's still trying to find her identity after all that mind control, and is still healing. Now we're jumping around some of the other places. John Walker, the new Captain America from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He definitely felt like a secondary antagonist for most of the show, and not a lot of people were very happy about him being Captain America. And by the end of the show, he goes as the name U.S. Agent. We don't really get that except for when Val says we need more of a U.S. agent. So it is in the end of Winter Soldier and the Falcon Winter Soldier. We do learn that he is the U.S. agent. That's the name. I like it. He's kind of like a dark Captain America, and I think it's embracing him a little bit better to have the all-black suit. And yeah, he made a big mistake in Captain America to get him to lose the title, Captain America. Well, for one, he took super soldier serum. That's a tongue twister. Killing a flag smasher in public, thinking that guy was the reason his friend died. When, I mean, it doesn't matter why. You don't disgrace the legacy of Captain America and the legacy of that shield. Steve Rogers would never bash the shield like that in somebody, but I look back to Civil War, and he does smash Iron Man's chest that way, but he's doing it to depower his suit. He's not trying to kill him. He knows that's the source of the energy of the suit. If I break that, it will break his suit. So big difference in my opinion. And so a little unhinged, yeah, he loses it, but Val picks him up in the end. Where we pick up with him in this movie, a disgraced patriot, probably desperate for belonging, and I'm going to assume if he has a mission from Val, he's going to jump at the opportunity just to feel important. I don't think he feels very good about what he did as Captain America, and I'm assuming he's still going to be hanging on. I mean, that's a kind of a prediction. I'm sorry. I can't fulfill my promises on no predictions. It's not in my nature. Okay, the next character, John Walker is sick, and I think I'm excited to see more of him in this movie on the big screen. Ghost is the next one. Ava Starr. Is that her real name? I didn't know that. She appeared in only the Ant-Man and the Wasp. As a child, she was caught in a quantum accident, leaving her molecularly unstable. Sorry about that. I'm going to leave that in. That's funny. Meaning she phases in and out of reality. She's stuck in this like perpetual living, and I'm a ghost and I'm not a ghost. So the whole movie, she's kind of chasing them around to find a cure for herself. And we get Janet Van Dyne returning at the end of that movie, and she understands how to stabilize her condition somewhat. So thank gosh we leave her in a little bit of peace. But they were going in the post credits to get something for her, and Ant-Man was like going to achieve a special kind of energy for her. And that's when the snap happened. So I'm wondering if she got snapped. If not, I'm wondering if since Ant-Man was gone and everyone else was gone, that they couldn't help her and she maybe got bad again. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm sure we'll pick up with her story in this movie. She's not really a villain at heart. She's a survivor, and she's trying to stay alive. I wanted to sandwich these characters, so we started with Yelena, and we're going to move to Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. I think those two are going to be leaders, and they're the ones. I think they're the main characters. I don't know. I love the mystery going into this movie. So he appeared all the way back in 2011 in the Captain America: The First Avenger. Diehard fans will know that a lot of big moments in the MCU have revolved around him coming back as the Winter Soldier. Hydra brainwashed him and turned him into the Winter Soldier. And in the movie, Captain America Winter Soldier, he breaks free thanks to Steve Rogers and never giving up on his friend, even if he's severely brainwashed. And the movie kind of jumps in that direction, too, where Steve's kind of trying to save Bucky on the run. And Bucky is starting to, like, become himself again and remembering what he was forced to do. So he's always carrying this guilt. Leads into the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Second MCU release in terms of TV on Disney Plus, and it was a fun show. We covered it. Go listen to our after shows for it. I really liked it as it was coming out, and I don't know. I did my episodes a bit different back then, so I'm a little more scattered than I am now. I mean, I'm still pretty scattered, I guess, but I'm having fun with it. So, anyways, so Bucky is a huge Marvel character. He's a fan favorite. In the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like I said, I was going to say he's going into therapy. He's figuring how to make amends with a lot of the lives he's ruined because he remembers the families and the people he killed. Tony Stark eventually forgives him, I'm guessing, in the 5 years of the snap, because there's bigger eggs to fry. Is that the right saying? Right now, he's free-willed. He looks to be, from the trailer, in the government, seeking redemption, and carrying those scars all the way back to the first Avenger. I mean, come on. That is a great character to have in this movie. I mean, he's a staple. So, after all these characters, we'll see what happens alongside this guy named Bob. We don't know Bob. I don't know Bob. I never seen no Bob. So I'm going to just act like Bob is a surprise. And also what it seems to be the villain of the movie, I'm going to leave as a surprise. And for me, I can draw some conclusions here, but at the same time, I just want to see, like, I want to be blown away. I want to be blown away. So Val made her first appearance in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I didn't realize that until honestly just now, but yeah, that would be the first chance she got to get someone on her super secret soldier team. I don't know. She secretly recruits John Walker after his fall from grace, and Yelena. She already has Yelena, and in Wakanda Forever, she is revealed as the director of the CIA. So she is the shadowy puppet master in the background, assembling a team of broken yet dangerous operatives for reasons that are still unclear. I want to know. I guess we'll have to go see the movie to find out. I don't know why I said that. Sometimes I say things like that and I pause it and I just I delete it. I'm going to leave it in there today. I'm going to leave some of my flubs because this is me trying to not bend out of the certain style we're going with today, which is just a nice recap. I don't need to be like, Ghost could do this and that, and Yelena will do this, and this, right? No, we're just looking over these characters and a little refresher for anyone who doesn't really want to go back and watch all this stuff. Black Widow was easy to rewatch. I haven't seen it in a long time, and it has the majority, at least half the team. So it's good to see those characters. I enjoyed watching that. I would recommend watching whatever you can and whatever you feel like will help you be ready for this movie. If you've seen most of this stuff already, I don't think it's going to be too hard on your memory. I think you're good to go. This movie is going to be straightforward, really fun, and if anything, it's going to send people back to the movies that these characters came from. So there you go. This is a after show, but it's technically a pre-show, so we'll just call it a show in the middle. This has been our show today. It's fun going through all this with you. If you've stayed to the end, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. We are going to be talking about the Thunderbolts Friday at 2 p.m. is when the episode releases. I am as excited as you are. I'm going to be seeing it Thursday. I'm recording my reaction Thursday. Friday, 2 p.m. always our official movie releases. And Wednesdays at 5 a.m. we're always releasing our TV show / special / maybe another movie, and vice versa. Those are our 2 time slots. So I am so thankful to have you listening. I see the numbers go up. Means a lot. And I want you to go visit our Patreon, patreon.com/MarvelManiac, or you can email me, MarvelManiacPod@gmail.com, for your theories or questions, concerns. I don't see what concerns you'll have. Let's all try and love this movie, unless it's like obliviously bad, and I don't think that's going to be the case. And if you want to donate or contribute, you can do that at patreon.com/MarvelManiac. There's also a tip jar in my About section. Whatever you can do. If nothing, you're beyond welcome here no matter what. Never expected, only always appreciated. I wish I could show you guys my awesome Thunderbolt shirt I'm wearing right now. I got it off of Amazon. I would really like to get some of the merch from Screen Crush and New Rockstars, but I'm afraid to look and see they don't have my size. But I'm not too ashamed to tell you that. Be honest with yourself and be loved, and love yourself for who you are. That is my biggest advice to anyone that didn't even ask for that advice. I've clearly overstayed my welcome. I will see you next time for the discussion and after show of The Defenders, and be prepared. Be prepared. I'm going to cover it the best that I can to my best ability without having notes. So I'm going to be really into the movie. I'll let myself go to the movie, and then I'm going to talk about the movie. And then when the movie comes out on Disney Plus, we're going to talk about it again, because we probably missed some stuff. So we got a lot going on. And after this week, we're going to move to Miss Marvel, the series, on Wednesdays. And I just thought this would be a better episode for this Wednesday for the movie, because the movies are big. They're staples. They're tentpoles. They're very important. So I think a whole week of dedication to that is worth it completely. I'll see you for our Thunderbolts episode. And until then, Avengers or Thunderbolts or Maniacs, MarvelManiacPod@gmail.com. Which one do you want? Disassemble.